Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Ken Patterson Show, guys. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your presence, and thank you for your energy. I appreciate it. If you would hit that like, follow, share, all the good stuff, that keeps us popping in the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Tonight, man, I want to get into chemtrails. I want to talk about chemtrails and what the hell they're spraying us with. Uh, uh, it's not good, to say the least. It's not good at all, and we don't hear enough about it. Our government is quiet about it, and they have to know that this is going on. They control the airspace, so what the hell is going on? In my search to try and find out a little bit more about chemtrails and aside from what I see when I walk outside my house every day, these planes flying over my house, flying crisscross patterns, more than one plane at a time, spraying these chemicals in the air. So, on a few occasions I've walked out on my patio and there's this yellow substance, powdery like substance on my patio. And this was, I at one point just started washing my patio off, every day just to see if this stuff was going to come back overnight. And sure enough, it would come back overnight. And this was in the summer months. So I don't know if it was some kind of pollen or what it was, but it just kept coming up. And then the cars would be coated in it too, this green, yellowish like powder. But anyway, I'd see these planes flying over the house all the time and flying direct patterns into the sun, crisscross patterns in front of the sun. You see these lines and you watch them as they begin to spread out and start to kind of look like clouds, right? They kind of form patterns and they kind of look like clouds and they start to spread out. And, slowly but surely this stuff, makes its way to the ground and into our soil, into our water, into our food supply, all of that. So I wanted to find out exactly what these people were doing with these chemtrails, what was in the chemtrails. And like I said, I came across this guy named Dane Wigington, Wigington. I did a search thinking I could find something a little less biased on DuckDuckGo, because I know Google is, all about calling people who talk about this stuff conspiracy theorists and crazy folk and, just all of that kind of stuff. So I didn't trust to even look and search on Google or whatever, but I did go out on DuckDuckGo and I did a search to find out, just a little bit more about what's going on with chemtrails and, what's behind this stuff. Why are they doing this? Why are they spraying the populace with this, with these aerosols or whatever it is? So anyway, tonight, let's talk about that a little bit. So I wanted to find out who was doing this. And according to Dane Wigington, he says that, the Department of Defense is definitely in on it. DARPA is absolutely in on this stuff. The government is well aware of this, but they remain quiet about it, and they're not doing anything about it. Here is some of the things that he said was in these things, man. Aluminum nanoparticles, which is also, he said, is toxic to all life, period. And he said it's being used as warfare, and it's also geo-weather engineering, right? He says that the reason you don't hear the weatherman or anybody talking about this is because the federal government has an illegal gag order on the National Weather Service and the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So in these chemtrails, you have aluminum, you have barium, you have strontium, you have manganese, uh, surfactants, and graphene. So all of these are harmful to all life, all life. Um, and he says that while there are some um, natural occurrences, that cause climate change, and he's not, leaving those things out of the equation. But he says that this climate engineering, geoengineering, is responsible for the major changes in the planet and climate change. Um, um, Also, they've been controlling or able to control climate patterns since the 1960s, when Lyndon Johnson was president. Lyndon Johnson famously said that we have the power to control the world's cloud layer. And he also said in that same speech that he who controls the weather controls the world. So this is not a conspiracy theory. This is not, crackpots running around making this stuff up. I had never heard of Dane Wigington, but I did see his interview on the Tucker Carlson show, and I was just absolutely blown away by the information that this guy had. He was so full of information about what's in these things, and just very, very upset and very passionate about, trying to get the government to stop this stuff from happening. But at the same time, he says that the government, the Department of Defense, and DARPA are in on it, that they are pulling the strings. He also said that, ultimately, the people who print the money are who are controlling this operation. And also he says that, once you start to call it chemtrails, the media will immediately label you, a conspiracy theorist, label you crazy, label you fringe. So it says that the correct term is climate. Let me let me find the correct term for you guys. He said when you're talking about this thing, you should call it climate engineering operations. This is climate engineering operations, is what he says. So anytime you say chemtrails or you start talking about chemtrails, people are going to immediately, call you crazy, label you a nut, and because he's not, a part of the lapdog scientific community, he is telling the truth because he is an engineer. They actually ran tests on the rainwater and found all of these substances in this water. They tested it at the top testing site in America, probably the world. So these are not just, these are not just theories. These are facts. These are things that they have actually found in this water, in the water that's we probably drink out of our faucets. So why are they doing this to us? That's the question. And Iran claims that NATO has been stopping their rain in an effort to destabilize their food supply and destabilize their population. So I believe that the same thing is happening here. I'm maybe a conspiracy theorist, conspiracy theorist maybe, but I do truly believe that our government is trying to unalive us. They are definitely trying to dwindle the population. The powers that be, the elite, definitely want to try and even the odds a little bit. So it's all plausible, right? It's all plausible. It's all believable, especially in the days and times that we are living in now. This is all very believable. It's not far fetched. It's amazing, that this is where we are. Our food is poisoned, our water is poisoned, and now our air is poisoned. And these operations have been going on since the 1960s. 1962 is when Lyndon Johnson made that speech about controlling the cloud patterns and the cloud layers around the world, not just over the U.S., but around the world. So, I was listening to this interview, and this guy says that the United States, the military leases commercial jumbo jets, and leave these commercial jumbo jet numbers on these planes. So the question is, why would our military need to do that? Why are they leasing these planes when we already have 3 times the aerosol sprayers or whatever? We have 3 times the bombers of all militaries combined in the world. We have 3 times the planes needed to fly these type of missions than all the other militaries in the world. So Mr. Wigington believed that the United States government is heavily involved and heavily vested in this. And I think it all goes back to just the same people who control this country, who control our politicians. There is an agenda to dwindle the world population. There is an agenda, whether people believe that stuff or not. I know it's not. We're not crazy when we're telling you this, and they tell you right to your faces. Bill Gates has told you, that was his mission, through reproductive science and vaccinations, that we could lower the world's population. And that's exactly what happened when they released this bioweapon, COVID-19, and then right behind that came with the vaccine, that was even more deadly than the virus. And that's a fact that nobody wants to admit. That's a fact. That is a fact. Nobody's crazy when they say it. The scientists who said this were immediately quietened down. So many scientists came up dead because they said that that COVID crap was bull, man. It was bull. So there is definitely a conspiracy, and conspiracy doesn't mean that it's not true. Conspiracy means that there are just more people involved. There are several people or more than one person involved in making this stuff happen. That is a conspiracy, not a lie. Conspiracy doesn't mean lie. Conspiracy means that two or more people collaborated to commit a crime. And this is what's happening. Our government, these pilots, the people who fly these missions are pieces of shit. That's it, period, point blank, because they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. This is not some kind of effort to save the planet, because there's nothing that we can do to save the planet. We don't have the power to change that. We don't have the power to do that. If this planet decides to spit our asses out, that's just what it's going to do. We don't have the power to change that, but we can stop poisoning our air and our water and our food. We can do that, and if the government won't do it, we have to become sovereign in our own. We have to become our own people. We have to become self-sufficient. We have to grow our own food and eat healthy. That's what we have. If the government won't do it, we have to do it ourselves. We have to do it ourselves. If our government will not do it, they're not going to do it. They're the ones perpetuating this shit. They're the ones spraying the poison in the air. They're the ones having this shit fall into our water. They're the ones having our animals who eat the grass and the grain. They're the ones who they're killing them. They're the ones poisoning all of this stuff. Our food supply, our water supply, our air supply. So do we expect them to come to our rescue when we need them? Do we really expect them to come to our rescue? They're not coming. They're not coming. They're not going to come to our rescue. They're not going to come. And what they do with these chemtrails every day, I'm out here every day. I have video from my phone, and I'm getting my stuff together so that I can start bringing the video footage into my shows and that kind of stuff too, because I know you don't want to just sit here and listen to me talk. And I wish I had the capability, which I will have very soon, to bring those videos into the show. I can bring the video in, but my audio is acting funny. So when I get these kinks worked out, I'm going to be bringing in videos, bringing a lot more features into the show. But I lost my train of thought. But anyway, I wish I was able to bring in the video footage of this interview with Dane Wigington and Tucker Carlson. If you have a chance, search that out and watch that interview, because this man is so knowledgeable, and he's truthful. That's the thing. You know, these scientists, we have these brilliant scientists walking around, but they are puppets too. They are puppets too. The scientific community is no better than Hollywood now. The scientific community is no better than religion now. So, because they all are puppets, they all say what they are told to say. They all say what they are told to say. And that's without a doubt. That's without a doubt. NASA has always been a joke. Deception. NASA has always been a lie. Always. Always. And we've thrown so much money away at this fake program. This fake program. And we worry about all of this unnecessary crap, man. We think we have all this stuff going on in our lives. I understand, but we don't even pay attention to the fact that they are poisoning our air, our water, our food every day. I now read labels when I'm in the grocery store. I never did that before, but I now read the labels, man. I want to know what I'm putting in my body. I want to know what I'm putting in my body. And it's still, none of this stuff is safe out here, man. Nothing, almost everything is full of all kinds of crap that we can't even pronounce. So we know it's not needed in our food, man. When I was a kid, the food did not taste like this. This stuff is different. This stuff is different, and I'm a witness. I've been on this earth for 58 years, and things have changed, man. They have changed from when my grandmother was cooking for us and my mother was cooking for us. You know, things have changed. I can remember going down to my buddy's grandpa's farm. Man, he had orchards, peaches, apples, plums, pears, you name it, man. Chickens, hogs, all that stuff, raising it himself. And this was not that long ago. This was in the 70s, the late 70s when this was going on. So that's not a long time ago. We're just a couple generations removed from that. But we let these people take over our lives. We let these people take over our very existence, everything. We depend on them for everything. We depend on them for our food. We depend on them for our water. We depend on them for our income. We have let them just take over our lives. And it's sad, man. It's sad. But the next time you walk outside, look up in the sky and pay attention. Look up in the sky and pay attention. All of these super cancers and all these respiratory diseases coming about now, and it all correlates, right? It's all cohesive. First the virus, then the vaccine. Now here comes these aerosols that they spray on us every day, these poisons that they spray on us every single day, and it keeps you sick. So the pharmaceutical companies are in on this too. I have to believe that, because this is an effort to keep us all sick, weak, and dumb. That's what this is all about. You're wondering why you have brain fog every day and why you feel dizzy sometimes, or every day, even you have these dizzy-like spells. It's because of the fucking poison that you're breathing in every day. The air, the very air that you're breathing in every day is slowly killing you. And that's what chemtrails are. Or, so that we don't get labeled fringe or crazy, that's what climate engineering operations are. Spraying poisons on us every single day. That's what climate engineering operations are. Spraying poison on us every single day. Our own government, the DOD, DARPA, the people who are supposed to take care of us, these people are controlled by somebody else, by another small, foreign, secular nation in the Middle East. It's sickening that they will do this to their own citizens. They will do this to their own citizens at the behest of this little bitty country. What do they have on these people, man? What do they have on these politicians? What do they have on our politicians? Our so-called leaders. What do they have on these people? That's the question we all need to be asking. That's the question that we all need to be asking. Why? Why are they doing this to us? What did we do to them to make them want to do this to us? That's just, these people are just plain old fucking evil. Just plain old evil. Why? That's the question, man. That's the $1 million question. Why? Why are they doing this to us? And Iran told you why. To destabilize the food, to destabilize the population. That's what this is all about. This is why we can't believe anything that we see. All of these ICE raids and these people, fake protesters and that kind of shit. I don't buy it, because they're trying to push us to something. They're trying to push us to something. And they want us to react in a adverse way, or in a way that may be threatening or violent, so that they can pull out all the stops. We got to be smarter than the media, which is not hard to do. It's not hard to do. We got to be smarter than the media. We can't just run down every little rabbit hole they send us down with these lies that they tell. It's legal for them to use propaganda on us, man. It's legal for them to lie to us with no explanation other than they are going to say it's for the greater good. Man. Chemtrails, climate engineering operations, climate engineering operations. These are chemtrails. And I guess if you want to get in the door somewhere, you need to call it climate engineering operations. Otherwise, you're going to be labeled a moron. Oh boy, I'll tell you, it's good, because I'm kind of getting my feet under me as far as this whole streaming thing goes. I want to be able, I try to do as much research on the subject as I can before I come and try to talk about it. And so I wanted to find out about chemtrails. I wanted to know what was in it. At least I could say that to you. And I wish I could have let you hear the words of this engineer, Dane Wigington, because he was brilliant and he was eloquent at the same time. So it was really great to listen to that interview. And if you get a chance again, go back and search that out. Dane Wigington, 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 and he was doing an interview with Tucker Carlson. So if you have a chance to see that, man, go back and watch it. It's so informative, and he tells you exactly what's going on and who is responsible for this ultimately. And I just thought it was a great interview. I thought it was a great show. It was great for Tucker to bring that guy out, and I just happened to find it by searching for information about chemtrails. And of course, I saw a lot of stuff that was, that conspiracy theory, that's a conspiracy theory. This is, erroneous and all the stuff, man. But this is the person who has the ability and the resources to actually go out and research this stuff. He works with the national. Let me tell you, the National Oceanic. Here we are. Here, let's see here. He works with the. This is not that. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, he works with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. So he has the resources, and he has the let's see, here it is here. He works with the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I said it. So that's, so he has the means to actually get this stuff tested. And he did this he tested and ran tests for over 18 months before he ever even said a word, because he did not want to be accused of being a conspiracy theorist or being crazy or whatever it is that they label you as when you start talking about this stuff. So he did not want to be put in that category. So he tested this stuff. He did test over a period of 18 months before he came forward with what he found. And of course, the powers that be won't hear it, but they have tons of documents, that support what it is that they're saying. They have documentation, government documentation, to support the fact that the government knows that this goes on. The government knows what's happening here. So he has this information. It's not a conspiracy. And it's something that as Americans, the populace, we need to take seriously. We need to take this seriously, because we're talking about our very lives, man. We're talking about life and death here, whether we believe that or not, because there are people who still believe that our government wouldn't do that to us. There are people who still believe that we have the best government on the planet. There are people who still believe that this is the best place in the world to be living, So there's not, you will get a lot of pushback from a lot of people, So expect that when you start talking about things that aren't mainstream, or what the masses believe, or what the crowd believes, what the in crowd believes. Expect to be called crazy if you go against that grain. So, and it's nothing wrong with being crazy. I'd rather be a free thinker than a sheep. Because actually the sheep are more crazy than the free thinker. if you really pay attention, the sheep are more crazy than the free thinker. So I would definitely be a free thinker any day over being a sheep. And that's why I'm here, because I am a free thinker. I'm a free speecher, all that shit. So, hey, that's why I'm doing the show. That's why I'm here. And we're going to get better. We're going to polish this thing up, man. It's going to be looking good, and it's going to be sounding good. We're going to have good, informative shows, interviews, all the stuff, man. We're going to put together a show here, a product to be proud of. So I appreciate anybody who's watching, man. I appreciate anybody who's supporting. I appreciate all of my followers, man. All of you guys, I appreciate it. I'm just trying to grow the channel. If this thing, resonates with you, I said anything that you like, please follow, please subscribe, and please share. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate it, man. This is the Ken Patterson Show, guys. Thank you so much. I love you. Have a great night. Peace.